is your full name?
Mildred Jeanette, Joenett, Toureau.
Why did your parents pick that name for you?
They were going to call me Maxie, and then my dad said, "Oh, they'll call her Magazine." So they picked Mildred.
Now, did you have a nickname growing up?
Yeah, Moolah.
Moolah?
Yeah, my dad would call me Moolah.
All right. Where were you born?
In Waterloo, Iowa.
In Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
When did you come to Michigan?
When I was about 5 days old.
Oh wow. So you pretty much always remember being here. What was your childhood like?
Oh, good. We had a lot of kids.
How many kids were in your family?
13.
Woo! Did you have any favorite relatives?
Well, my Uncle Walter, he was pretty much my favorite. And that's about it.
That was it. And how is he related to you?
Uncle, my dad's brother.
Your dad's brother. Do you remember any stories that they used to tell you about your family and?
Yeah, not my dad so much, but my mother used to talk about her family on the farm. They lived on a farm in Iowa. And she used to tell me little things that went on, like with the animals. Like the horses would want to go real slow to town. You know, they had to take a horse and buggy. And when they turned around to come back home, them horses just they couldn't control them.
They just wanted to go home.
Yeah, it was so funny. I don't know if it's true or not, but she always told that story.
How did you and Grandpa Jack meet?
Well, I was about 8.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a neighbor.
Oh. So he was the neighbor boy?
Yeah.
Now, did you guys always like each other?
No.
Were you friends and played together?
Friends and family, yeah.
So you seen him all the time,
Yeah.
just around the neighborhood?
Yeah, and then he went in the Navy in World War II, and then when he got home, well, he asked me out.
What was your parents like?
They were good. They were hard workers. We always had a great big garden, and we canned because we were living through the Depression, sort of like the end of it, and they lost all their money in the bank, and they just were struggling, and there was no building going on, and my dad was construction, and so we just kind of struggled and was on the welfare. And Jack's family, they had 3 boys, and they had to go to the CC camps. And the father dug ditches for the county. At least he had a little bit of a job, you know. So, yeah, that was not good.
Not good.
No, but we canned everything. We had an orchard with lots of trees, and when I was old enough to help can, I would help.
What did you can? Like tomatoes?
Tomatoes, anything that we could put in the can. You know, we had a big cherry tree, so we made jars out of that, and then it was good for cherry pie, and I don't know. We didn't have a freezer, you know, we had an ice box where the iceman came and put the 25 pounds of ice in it. Then we had to empty the pan underneath.
Really?
Yes, so we didn't have no freezer, there was no freezers or anything then. We didn't even have a telephone. There
Really?
was no phones, no, unless you were rich. So, then when we finally got one, when things got a little better, there was eight parties on our line. So you were lucky if you could call somebody. There'd be somebody talking all the time.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
You got married to Jack. You decided to leave Clinton Township, and you decided you were gonna go to the UP. How did you end up buying a motel at 3 Lakes? How did that happen?
Oh, well, Jack was knocked off a scaffolding 2 stories high.
It wasn't.
We lived in that house 20 years that John lives in.
Before you moved to the UP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we lived up there 23 years. And there was boxes in the attic of the garage that I didn't even know what was in. So, had a big yard sale and got all that stuff down and sold it. Yeah, so that was that.
Did people come, did family come and visit you?
Oh yeah, all the time.
And you always had room for them?
Uh-huh. When the last New Year's we were there, everybody was up there. That's close to us, you know. And every room was full. And Jim even came from Louisiana.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he went up to Minnesota and picked up his daughter and then came all the way to 3 Lakes. Yeah, we had a big old New Year's party.
So, my mom came over here one time and was talking to you when you guys were doing some ceramics, and you were telling her about a store in the UP that was by the motel called Utters.
Mm-hmm.
What's that all about?
Well, it was a little store. You pull off the highway and it's just sitting down there, and the people that owned it, their name was Utter. So everybody that, if you met or if you were up at Skittas, which was another store, she didn't have everything. So they'd say, well, we gotta go to Tits and get that. And the first time I heard it, I said, what? You know, I wasn't even, the people up there are bad. Well, yeah. It's not there anymore.
It's not there anymore?
Tits is gone.
Damn. I would have stopped at Tits. So we get together on the holidays and in the summer parties, and we do the Johnson family reunions and parties. Who started that? You did? I didn't even know.
Well, I'll tell you the story. I better tell it pretty. Oh, we're good time. So anyway, us girls are all sitting in a restaurant on 12 Mile.
What do we call the girls?
Edith, my sister Betty, she's gone now. Mary, Marie, Dorothy, and me.
We call them the birds.
The buzzards.
The buzzards.
Santa calls us the birds, but we're really the buzzard. So, one time we rented a hall, and we had, like it's right here at Gratiot, and we asked people to pay to go. Well, there was some people that didn't just see, but nobody could pay for the hall all by themselves. So anyway, it wasn't working out too good because there was people with a lot of kids, you know, and that was, every person had to pay $12, which wasn't bad then, now, but then. So we talked about that, and my mother used to have open house on Christmas Eve. So we all kind of missed that. And then, so I got the idea that we all are a little bit talented about making stuff and stuff, you know. So I said, well, you know, why don't we have a raffle? And we'll make stuff all summer, and then we'll, not all summer, but have a raffle table at the family reunion, and take that money and put it into a hall in the Christmas party. So they agreed. And we had the family reunion and the raffle. Well, it worked out. We had enough money to get it all. So John could get it cheaper at the base if a lieutenant didn't want it for that night. Well, come to find out he didn't. The lieutenant didn't want it that night. So we had the Christmas party at the base, which was a lot cheaper. So then we had another raffle, and then that money went back in. But with the two occasions, we had enough money. And now we have a kitty of $7,000.
So over time, it's
If
even
we
after
don't
you,
do good, we always have money to take out of that kitty to help pay for stuff. Because the hall goes up, everything goes up. The park goes up. You know, every year it's more. We spend $250 for the kids' candy.
Aunt Edie, she keeps track of all the finances and everything of where.
And all the printing and the mailing and all that. But me and Bev used to do it for the hayride. I don't remember what Santa, how we got Santa, but Edith knows. Yeah, she does all that because she has the equipment to do it. You know, the printers and the photography and all that plus. I don't have that. The computers and all that.
Right.
Yeah, so, and she's like, that's her, you know, that's what she does. Yeah, she's really smart. And she's got a memory. She can remember. Me, I forget.
I forget. I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning.
I know, me either. But it had to be oatmeal.
What was this game that you would play up in the UP?
It was called Chicken Shit Bingo.
And what is?
And there was a big table, and then it had chicken wire around it, and they said maybe 2 or 3 chickens. And the squares, I should have put that first, the squares were numbered like bingo. And so they keep feeding the chickens, and every time they go, wherever they went, then
They'd call out the number,
yeah,
and the chickens would poop
yeah,
on the next number that would call.
yeah.
And who would win? Like
Would
how?
win, somebody would win. I don't.
And everybody put a little bit of money in,
I guess, yeah,
and they
Yeah,
played
it's
chicken
kinda
shit
like
bingo.
yeah.
And that was the Yoopers.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever play?
Uh-uh. No.
Did Jack play?
No.
No, you just
never
watched
played.
it?
For a couple minutes. That's it. That's kind of embarrassing.
waiting for
So
a
the
chicken.
boy, they'd be yelling, hovering, and yay! Those old timers up there, they just must have been doing that for years.
Uncle Jim?
He's really kind of smart though, he's a money saver.
I see his woodworking skills are unbelievable. The stuff.
So cottonwood. He's got enough for 4 winters.
He's awesome
Mm-hmm.
working with wood. He made Mickey and Jack these locks.
I know it.
Oh my gosh.
I know they're so nice.
They're so awesome.
You should see like their bedroom outfit he made them. The mission bed and the dressers. You know, he's really good. God, I can't remember all the stuff he's made.
It's amazing.
I know it. In that barn out there, he's got a nice workplace.
Oh.
Kind of messy, but
If he can produce the
Right.
beautiful furniture he's doing, it doesn't matter how messy it is.
I know. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's a smart man. He was an engineer. And
Where was he an engineer for?
at Ford's.
Oh, he was at Ford's.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, and then he was a troubleshooter after that. And he'd go all over when people had problems with anything in the factory and solve it, or try to solve it. And at one time he was in India, Hindustan Motors,
Really?
for a long time. Yeah, Dorothy went and visited him once.
Wow.
Yeah. He lived in a little apartment, and he had what would you call a boy, like to do his stuff, like laundry.
Like an assistant.
Yeah, but there was something else.
Like a butler.
They called it something else. No, not a butler, but I can't think of it. But anyway, yeah. And then Dorothy went over there and to visit him once, and he was always out of town. He sounded like you. He was always gone. And when she got over there, they went there, visited there. They went to Japan. In fact, me and her were flying at the same time on different flights to California. Because John was going to graduate and go overseas, and she was going overseas. Yeah. But we just happened to get on different planes, not knowing, So, yeah. And then when he came back home with her, and they went to Hawaii, and they brought back pineapple. Them days you could bring things back, The first time I met him, he was only 14.
Really? They've been together that long?
No, but they were building M65, and we were camping at Horseshoe Lake. And Jim's farm was only a little ways from there. So me and my mother are fishing, and I see these 3 boys out on a raft. They weren't my brothers, because my brothers weren't there. And they're just having a good old time. And Jack said, oh, they probably live around here. So anyway, I said, you know what, I'm going to go to town and I'm going to get some hamburger. I feel weak. I'm tired of eating fish every day. I'm going to make some hamburgers. So Me and Janet. Janet was maybe a year older or so. And so we go, and they're building M65, so there's all this yellow sand going up like this. Well, I had a Dodge, a heavy Dodge, Chrysler Dodge or something. And somehow or other, I wasn't in the right track or something. Anyway, I got the back of that stupid thing stuck. And I couldn't get backwards and I couldn't go forwards. So I just sat there, didn't know what to do. The highway's closed. So I thought, well, Jack will miss me, but it was like 18 miles in the woods or something. So all of a sudden this car pulls behind me. Well, those boys are in there, 3 of them. Hey lady, are you stuck? Well, yeah. So one of them was Jim. He was only like, I figure he was 15 maybe. Oh, we'll help you, you know. And then there was his 2 other friends, and I got to know them later. So he goes up on the highway and gets that bulldozer. Yeah. So Keith must have been in it. He starts it up, he comes down, there's a chain on the back.
Jim did?
Jim, he's only a kid like Jack. He pulls that car out of there. And of course I said thanks a lot and everything. I go to town and I'm real careful when I go back into the woods. So, and it was about, I don't know how many years, maybe 6. I think I had Johnny and Janet. And we were into a hamburger joint right here, somewhere on Gratiot. I forget what you call it, Whoppers or something, I don't know. And we're sitting, me and Jack are sitting in a booth with the kids, and then there was a wall going like that. And if I looked up, he'd be looking at me. And I thought, who the heck is that guy? You know, why is he keep looking at me all the time? So pretty soon here he comes. I thought, oh brother. And he said, aren't you the lady that I got out of the ditch in Glenny? I said, yeah. He said, well, I'm the one that went up on the road and he's got a memory, I'm telling you. It got you out. Oh. He said, I said, well, what are you doing down here? Because I figured he lived up there. And he said, well, I'm going to school. So I didn't know which college or anything, you know. So, and I said, he might have said, and that was far away, I can't remember, but he said, I said, well, what are you doing in this neck of the woods? And he said, well, I got a girlfriend that lives right over here. And then Roseville wasn't so awfully big, so I asked him, just for conversation, well, who? And he said, Betty Johnson. I said, there's my sister. Really? I said, yeah, there's my sister. Oh, so I didn't know nothing about it, you know, that she was going with him or anything. Isn't that funny? So then we're going out to Bald Eagle Lake. And Herbie and my brother Herbie and Lyle and them, they were going too. And we used to go there like almost every summer. And it's way out there somewhere, by Pontiac or something. So I see him coming with my sister Dorothy. I thought, something's wrong with me. There's Dor. So here he was with Dorothy. I didn't say anything, you know. So then years later, I said to him, well, how come you were going with Dorothy and when I met you, you were going with Betty? And he said, well, I kind of like Dorothy better. So that's how I met him. That's how long I've known him.
You known him for a long, how is that a small world?
Yes, yes. And then him and Jack were pretty good buddies with hunting and stuff, and we go up there. They had a place at Lost Lake or something, and we go there to stay. Well, by then Dorothy and him were married. We always had a real good time together. Yeah. Yeah. I got a lot of stories in my years.
Well, I bet.
Yeah.
We just scratched the surface. We might have to do this again.
Yeah. Yeah, if I could think of everything we